Local theater company Tanghalang Pilipino is bringing back an award-winning play about the roots of conflict in Mindanao. Anak Datu will open Tanghalang Pilipino's 37th season. It was first staged last year as Tanghalang Pilipino's first major production since the lockdown in 2020. And joining us now live in the studio are Anak Datu's playwright Rody, Vera, and the director Millado. Good morning to you both. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Christine.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you guys are back because whenever you're back, I know you have good news to share with us all. As Tanghalang Pilipino's theme for its 37th season is unfiltered. So we do have 3 brave productions that are in store for all of us to view and to witness and enjoy. Okay, so we do have Anak Datu. That's one of them, of course, which makes its particular production, it's restaged because
It's just staged last year.
Yes.
And now we're restaging it because it got sold out and got very good reviews. And we thought that the story needs to be told again and again.
I mean, it was for 3 weekends, as I understand, last September.
Yes. It played for 3 weekends last September. It's going to play again starting September 29th.
And that was also your first directorial after, you know,
Yes,
your retirement and all of these from CCP. So now you're back.
Well, I think the more significant thing is the very first original production that was staged after the pandemic lockdown.
Yes.
And it was a great feeling to be back again on the live performance stage, especially with new work by Rody, Vera, and talking about something very close to all of us, which is the life and times of our national artist, Abdul Mari Imam.
Yes. So, Rody, let me throw the question to you since you were the brains behind all of this. When did it start? I mean, it started before the pandemic as you started conceptualize to write this play.
Yeah, actually, I was approached by the son of Abdul Mari Imam, Toim, and he always wanted to have this short story that Abdul Mari wrote way back in 1968. It's called Anak Datu.
Okay.
It's a story for young people actually, and I think it won an award during that time. And so he always wanted someone to write a play about this. And so when I read it, I said, this has to be told not only as is, but it had to be contextualized in the larger perspective of the history of Mindanao and the life of Abdul Mari Imam himself. And so that's how it happened. And that's when the pandemic happened, and I thought it won't be staged anymore. And then towards the end, I think it was 2022, when we said yes, let's do it. And then 3 main threads of the production came out from that one very short story.
I mean, I read somewhere you had 3 revisions, you know, trying to make this all
more than
3 revisions, trying to make this, you know, come. Okay, so you mentioned about the 3 threads. Let's dissect this a little bit more. Tell me about that.
Well, the 3 intersecting threads are the story of Abdul Mari Imam is told through myth, which is Anak Datu, which is the folktale where everything sprung. And second is memory, which is the story of a family. And the third is history. So it's myth, memory, and history. And at the start, it starts at like 3 different stories. At some point, it starts sort of intertwines and starts to shape each other.
Okay, so it's a story. First, you're going to share the story of Abdul Mari, right, of what happened there. Is that correct? And then you're also going to tell us the story about the birth of the resistance of Mindanao. I mean,
right.
Okay. And then
the third one is the story of Abdul Mari Imam himself. During the time that it happened and the time that he wrote it. Because in 1968, when he wrote it, that's also the year that the Jabida massacre happened. And so that which sparked the resistance and the birth of MNLF.
From its initial staging way back, I mean, in 2022, and now we're going to see it again from September 29, I believe, to October 15th. Any changes that you decided to do? You already won awards. So maybe we shouldn't change anything, but what happened?
Don't fix it.
Well, restaging is always an opportunity for us theater artists to keep on improving on the work. And one of the changes, the really welcome changes, are we're having a new cast for this one, especially for the leads. This time, we're bringing in a Tausug actor who's based in Zamboanga City. His name is Ramli Abdurrahim. He's also an independent film actor. To perform with Hashanan Magarang, who's a Maranao actor. And at the same time, we have Paul Jake Paule playing the lead, Abdul Mari and G. Unida playing GB Narula. These are characters from all those different multi-verses. At the same time, we're trying to look at, keep on enhancing the staging. A wonderful thing about it is we're working with the son of Abdul Mari Ima, Toyn Ima, who's a sculptor, artist himself. And entering that space is like entering his studio and his mind as an artist. It's very sculptural. He won the best set design for last year's Theater Awards.
Okay, so we can expect, great storytelling, wonderful, talented artists, and music.
Correct.
Yes.
Music and dance.
Music and dance.
And as you know, music and dance go hand in hand in our traditional performance forms, especially from Mindanao. So we have a live Kulintangan ensemble, and we're playing and scoring practically the whole performance, the whole 2 hours of the performance. And then we have a show of both Pangalay dance and the martial arts, Silat, Kuntao Silat, which has been specifically instructed by our 2 guest performers from Zamboanga and from Marawi.
So this is definitely exciting times, for us. So once again, Anak Datu will run from September 29 to October 15. Now, briefly, before I let you go, tell us a little bit. You still have 2 more plays. We just talked about Anak Datu, but tell us briefly about the other plays that you guys will also want to feature.
Well, the other one is a children's play, Sandosenang Zapatos, which is also a restaging. And the next one is another original Filipino musical called Pinkian, a musical which is about Emilio Jacinto. So Emilio Jacinto, as you know, is one of our under-the-radar heroes, because most of the time we don't really know, most of us don't really know what he did for the Philippine Revolution during the time. So Tanghalang Pilipino chose to focus on his life and see his amazing contribution to the changes that was happening.
Leave it to Tanghalang Pilipino to unearth all of these classic, to make sure that we remember and we don't forget, a lot of things that happened in our history. Thank you so much. It's Chris. I'm sure we're going to have you back here once again. Thanks so much, Chris. And of course, Rody, for joining us this morning here on New Day. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Christine, and hope to see you in Anak Datu.
Yes, Anak Datu. Here we go.